Welcome, welcome to today's training. And I'm just going to click a couple of things to say hi to a few people, get them on. Okay, cool. So if you are live today, please say hello. If you are watching on replay, just type #replay. And I'm very intentional about the trainings that I do. And so therefore, I would love you to be intentional as well. These trainings, you will get the most out of it if you go all in. And what I mean by that is cut off all distractions and actually comment, actually be in the conversation with me rather than in a more passive role. So good morning, Sarah. Hello, Barbara. Hi, everybody. Awesome. Welcome to all of you. Now, I also come back to these trainings. So any comments, questions, etc., I always come back. So let's be in an intention of co-creation here today, because I've got some really interesting things that have been coming through, channeling through. Hello, Tonya. And it's really about where we're going in the world. And there is such a massive shift happening right now. And I know that you can feel it too. I know that if you're a woman who's been in business for a while, the way that you were doing business before, and you still may be doing it this way, it's just not feeling quite right anymore. And so today I'm going to show you 3 things. So number 1, why that pull within you, you know, that yearning that you can't quite put your finger on, is the place for you to go to then have abundance, a sustainable business into the future. Why most of us visionaries actually get stuck in what I call the idea, then the execution, then the energy fizzle cycle. So it's like we think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this, and then we start doing it, and then it all fizzles out. We end up back to where we are. And how you can actually recreate your business into one that allows you to get paid abundantly for being exactly who you are and doing all the things that you love. Sound good? If so, drop me a little GIF, show me some energy, and let's dive into it. So if you are new to my world, I'm Janine Howard. I help women in business really balance what I call the feminine and the masculine in their business. And why is this important? This is important because we're going through such a massive shift energetically in the world. Branka, thank you very much. Massive shift. In fact, we're moving out of the age of the patriarchal into the age of the matriarchal. If you want to know more about that, I'll just write matriarchal. I'll drop in a different training for you. Hey, Amanda. And so what this means, though, is that the way that we marketed, the way that we converted clients, the way that we even delivered our business, what we delivered on, is starting to shift and change. And many of you would be in what I call the void, in the in-between. So from the patriarchal way to the matriarchal way, from the unhealed masculine way into the divine feminine way. So I'll explain more as we go today, but many of you are probably feeling the void. And if you've come to this training, which is called Get Paid to Do What You Love, I reckon you're probably in the void. And that's a really good thing. Because when we go in the void of between two worlds, we open up to the potentiality of the universe, to quantum, to the divine, for where we're actually being called to go. Now, my guess is too that if you are here listening to this training, you are also a visionary. You're also a person who wants to have impact rather than just influence. You're a person who, it's not about the money, but the money would also be great. So it's about there's something calling you for more, but not to do more. Am I right? So for more in the world, but not necessarily doing more. And so I've really been in this stage, right, in this void stage. And for many years, more so very recently, and really moving into what I call the second mountain. Some of you may have read the book, The Second Mountain. For me, specifically, that second mountain is like think about the first mountain. So in my life, the first mountain for me was, always being at the top of my career, always ending up being the manager, always ending up running the show, ended up, and this is in magazines, but also in tourism. I ended up running my own magazine and publishing company for many, many years. Got very well known, very, very successful. I've had a few magazine titles from local and regional publications all the way to global newsstand magazines, right? And so I remember when I was at the peak of that, feeling completely empty, completely and utterly empty. I was traveling the world, getting free trips. My children were clothed for the first 3 years of their lives in free clothing and prams and all the things. It was what looked on the outside to be like a beautiful, amazing, glamorous, abundant life. Yet inside me, I was like, meh. Like if there was an emoji to explain, it'd be the meh emoji. And so I then went searching for what is this feeling? Like, where am I? What am I trying to fill up here? Where am I being called to go? And the only way for me to do that was to really move into the void. So surrender to the void, the in-between stage. Now, that didn't mean that I threw my business out, didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. My business has always ticked along really beautifully and nicely. But what it required me to do was really step back from the reasons that I was building business. And hello, Amanda, if I am really honest, the reason I built my first mountain was for money. I wanted to make a shit ton of money, right? I will also be very honest. I also wanted to have fame or significance. Now, I got all of those things, right? Not necessarily like famous, but I was very well known and, revered, and all of the things. It was very wonderful. So the second mountain for me, which is the path that I'm on now, I actually don't need to know where it's going to go. I actually don't need to know how much money I'm going to make. In fact, by putting money on it, like I want to make 7 figures, $3 million company, $10 million, whatever, actually stifles the second mountain. We'll get to this in a moment, right? Now, I will actually also say this is not for everyone. Not everyone's ready for that second mountain yet. Not everyone, you might be on your first mountain and hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Naomi says, listening from the void. And, maybe that is your mountain. I do believe that for many of us, this second mountain that we're moving towards is one that is based on something completely different than where we built our first mountain. So shall we really dive in today? Yes, Barbara says, I agree with you on that, right? So let's dive in. Let's talk about the first point I made, that there's that pull within you. Who here feels that pull? Maybe write pull in capital letters, like that yearning. Who's feeling the pull to something more, but it's not about more? Who's feeling that pull? So Branka says second mountain. Yes. Who's feeling that? Some of you may know what that is. Some of you are still like, oh, I just don't quite know what that is. I can't put my finger on it. And I believe us women are feeling that. If you're not feeling it now, you will be soon. And this is so important that we listen to this pull. And I keep doing this. I keep putting my hands in my heart space, my heart chakra. Yes, says Sarah. Amanda says pull. Branka says, woo, definitely. This is where we're being guided. Have a look at the, let's be frank, shit show that the world is in right now, right? The shit show, whether it's politics, education, health, inflation, food shortages, like the whole world is in a state of change. And for change to happen, it must be exacerbated. I spoke this morning, I did a post about the J curve, like being a scientist by trade. The J curve is this what actually happens is the J curve happens and then the S curve. So we are right now on this trajectory, this rapid expansion. Think about this with your business. Did you ever do this? Rapid expansion, increasing, everything's getting more. You might be making more money in your business, but still you're feeling really hollow. There comes to a point with that J curve that it crashes, that it comes back down, that it gets to a breaking point, that it can no longer sustain. You think about how we have all been taught to, you're not successful in business unless you make more money, right? Make more money, have more team, have more clients, have more this, and this. I'm going to call bullshit on that. And like I say this with love and respect. For some people, this is like tops. For me, it's not. For me, it's not. I would love to make a shit ton more money, but not for the reasons that I thought it was before. Not for the reason I thought it was before. Barbara says, I see it like a pendulum swinging. It's been so far one way, has to swing the other, right? Exactly. I always say, it's the polarity where you're either right over here or right over here, but it's the same stick pen, right? It's like swing. But we want to get to a point that we actually go into sustainability. And for women, our bodies, our physical bodies, our energetic bodies, our emotional bodies need sustainability. So to get there, it's not about more. It's about following this call within here. And it's following the little breadcrumbs, little step by step. It's the only way that you can do that is to freaking surrender. I make that noise because here's the thing, right? Surrender is potentially the most challenging thing you will ever do in your life. Because what the hell does that mean? It's surrendering from the pendulum swing. It's surrendering from the old way that I have to do more, be more, make more, have more, all of the moreness. Because that moreness, I guarantee, that's not you, Pops, sorry, that moreness was probably bred from your ego. And I say this with love and respect, that was probably bred from fear. That was probably bred from media, from the marketing gurus telling you that you're not enough. And they don't say this in these exact words, that you're not enough if you're not making X amount of money, having this many clients and all the things, right? So resonating, says Branko. Hey, Frankie, I'm on live. Frankie and Jack have just got home from the neighbour's house. Well, I'm talking on like to many people. Do you want to come on? All right, I'm going to continue. It's fine.
Is that
yes,
card under yours?
That's Tamara's.
Say told you. Can we put the card in the iPad?
Sure, that's fine. I won't be long.
Oh.
See, this is true. We homeschool our kids, even though it is school holidays. Right, so it's the more. So it's this way of doing business that actually, keep it up real peeps, is about having more impact, fueling your soul, having more love frequency and change on the earth without it being more. So who's resonated with this? Naomi said, sounds like our place, but less yelling. Oh, look, we're beyond that. We've been doing this homeschooling gig for, oh my God, 4 years, 3.5 years at the least. Yeah, super cool. We love it. We're all about freedom here. We're all about like what feels good. So, we actually had to surrender the education system and go in the void of like, it didn't feel good. So we just went, I don't know what to do. So we just went into the void. And now we're really finding our tribe in terms of like really heart-centered entrepreneurs who we school our kids together just 3 days a week. And it's very much about their personal development, about collaboration, cooperation, and less about there's no grades, there's no tests or anything like that. So this is really where we're going as a society. So whether it's in education, politics, health, growing your own food, schooling your own kids, all of this. Now, this is not for everyone, and that's okay too. But I can tell you now that if you are not listening to the signs of your own soul, of your own heart, and adapting and changing, you will be left behind. You will be left in a place where you're going, hang on a second, my business was working 5 minutes ago and now it's stopped. There's a reason I got this tattoo. I can't even see myself, so I don't know if you can see my tattoo. There's a reason I got this tattoo. So it's a triangle and it's open. Triangles mean change, right? And open means obviously I'm open for transformation, open for change. I am constantly in a state of adaptation. I'm constantly in a state of looking forward in the market. Where are we going? Where am I being called to go? How can I keep being on the leading edge? And that is why sometimes you will see me mixing up my business a lot because number one, I am a manifesting generator in human design, if anyone gets what that is. Naomi says a pod. Yeah, we've got like a schooling pod. There's about 10 kids that are doing it. We've actually hired someone to help facilitate that with them. Organic food, no sugar, all the things that actually get fed as well. They get lots of playtime. They do STEM activities each afternoon, which is a team collaboration. So yeah, it's like this is the way of the future. And so the same with my schooling or education of my kids, it's with my business, right? It's like, what am I being called to move towards and adapt and change? All right. The second bit I want to talk about, which will all circle back into the end, is why most visionaries like you get stuck in that idea of like, oh, I've got an idea. And then you go to execute it and then the energy gets fizzled out. And so then you're left feeling like, oh, I failed, or must have been a good idea anyway, or, you know, no one wants my idea. And so especially too, if you're a manifesting generator or a generator, like me, you will absolutely relate to what I'm saying. Other human design will as well. But as a general, have you been in a space where you get these big ideas, like game-changing ideas? Oh my gosh, I should do this. And then you'll go into like getting it all done and the how, and then you go like, oh, this actually feels completely overwhelming. And I'm just going to go have a cup of tea and a lie down, right? Or watch Netflix, right? Who's with me? This is actually a normal part of change makers and visionaries. However, I want to show you a little nuance to this so that the energy doesn't fizzle out. And so you can actually have those amazing, brilliant ideas come to fruition. So this is, Naomi says yes, but no lie down. Just keeps going. All right. So think about this. What happens when, so you've got the idea and it lights you up and you're feeling excited, and then you go into the how? What happens is the energy gets constricted because normally you're trying to do it yourself. Normally you're getting stuck down in the detail. Normally then you having people go, oh, you really need to make sure this, and having everyone put their 2 cents worth in, or, you know, you might have a really well-meaning coach that says, oh, no, I don't think you should do that yet, or whatever it is, you know, your husband, all of the things. This is where we've got to be really careful of our energy, that it doesn't get constricted by other people's perceptions and judgments, or our own perceptions and judgments of what other people's perceptions and judgments are. Right? Does that make sense? And I'm just going to do an access conscious clearing statement on that. So anywhere and everywhere that you have bought into the lies that other people's perception and judgments should actually control how you perceive and judge yourself, would you uncreate and destroy? Just go, yes. Times a Godzian, right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pot, all 9 shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. If you have absolutely no idea what I said, it doesn't matter. Just know that it works. So to be able to have those amazing ideas really come to fruition is to not get stuck in the how. And this is where we're being led as a collective, is to collaborate with different kinds of people who will do the nuts and bolts for us. So if you're a visionary, right? So Barbara says, I can relate. I feel so wishy-washy doing that, but you're not. It's not wishy-washy. And isn't it interesting that we're being brainwashed to think that we're wishy-washy when we change our minds about things, that we try and execute something and then we go, oh yeah, I'm really bored, I'm moving on now. Right? That's other people's perceptions and judgments. Whereas what if actually that was the way we're meant to operate? What if we're actually meant to be trialing different things all of the time, going with those big visions, following the intuition, following the energy, and then having others work out the other details in the background? I'm now not talking to these people, the detail-oriented people. I've got like the best of the best who works with me in getting those details. Her name is Sarah, and she bloody rocks, and no, you can't have her unless, Sarah, you're looking for more visionaries to work with. But that, like my Sarah, she gets that I am the visionary, that I have a high tolerance for risk, that I'm like, if I say, oh my God, we're going to Italy, then we're going to Italy and we'll just work it out. And she'll then help me in the background so I don't lose the energy of it. Because if I get too stuck in the how and the doing, my energy collapses. I'm best when I am just in ideas land. Oh my God, you know what we should do? We should go blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's with me? Who's with me? All right, let's do this. And then have the team to help facilitate and get it done. Right, Sarah says yes. So if you're resonating with that, you're probably a similar energy type to me. And I've noticed recently that many of the energy types that are attracted to actually working with me, who can actually keep up with me, are actually other generators and manifesting generators, right? If you're not, it's okay too. Like, it's okay. I'm not like saying we're better, different, whatever. It's just, it is what it is. Look at the energy that I bring, right? I'm very energetic in my delivery, when I get on stage, when I'm coaching my clients. Like, I'm freaking all in, people, like all in. And I get energized from this. So for example, we did a 2-day event 2 weeks ago, and at the end of it, one of my team said, hey, you're feeling like you're exhausted? I'm like, nope, I'm energized, right? And that's why we work so well together, right? And so you might be this person too, that you actually get your energy from doing a lot of things, and you could do it quickly. You know, one of the things about, say, a manifesting generator is I can get stuff done super quickly if it's in alignment. If it's not in alignment, yeah, I get bored quickly. So this is where you've got to differentiate whether the idea is coming from a frequency of love, or if it's coming from, I need to make money. What if I don't make money? What if I don't have clients? All of that. That's ego. So we want to build our business from the frequency of love, not fear. Fear and ego. So being able to tune in to, is it my heart pulling me towards this, or is it fear, is so important as a visionary, to be able to then get paid to do only what you love, and have someone else help you with the stuff that you don't love, right? You don't have to go and do that, or you just don't do it at all. There's a lot of things in our business we actually don't even need to do, right? Ask me, I keep it so simple. So then the last bit of today's training is then, well, with all of that, how can I get paid to do what I love? Well, number one, you got to work out, what is it that fuels your soul? What is it that you're called to do here? And this is when going to that void is really important. The surrender piece. Going into a state where you go, okay, I don't have to give up my business and burn it to the ground and all the things, or maybe you want to. I'm not judging, whatever you need to do. But just taking a pause from that, clearing the space. Sometimes this is actually best done going away, right? Clearing the space, because in your normal daily life, you've got your normal daily habits and your normal routine, which keeps you in this kind of space. That's why I love travel. Travel is the best way to change your surroundings, to actually find out who you really are. Honestly, that's why I'm taking people to Italy in August, because it gives you a space to not have opinions from other people. You're in fresh new inspiration, in fresh new energy, and you can actually find out what is true for you. And it's the little pieces, the little bits of inspiration that I want you to follow. I'm sure many of you are well aware of the work of Masaru Emoto. I'm just going to say Emoto. I forget how his first name goes. And he's done all of the experiments with water, that when you set the intention into water of the frequency of love, it comes out of beautiful crystals when you freeze it. When you set the intention into water of hate, it comes out with like just a messy mess of the crystals. Barbara says, yes, you're untethered from the daily when you go traveling. Love it. So think about, we are made of water, 70% more than that, whatever water. What if you actually played an experiment with yourself just over the next week and played an experiment of setting an intention of being in tune with what is love for you and what is hate? I'm just using those two words as extremes. Hate could actually be fear as well. What is love for you? What is hate, fear, ego? Feel into that. Really set the intention. And then anything that is this has to go. Has to go, has to go, has to go. And whittle your business down to only things that give you joy, that light you up, that you love. Anything that is from fear, scarcity, ego, etc., is built on, there's no right or wrong word for this, but the wrong foundations, just to be right and wrong. It's never right or wrong, but it's built from foundations that aren't sustainable. If you build your business from a foundation of love frequency, I was about to say that's where the magic is, and you just said it. Sarah just said it in the comments, that's where the magic is. The magic. Imagine how magical your business could become if you base it only on the frequency of love. Imagine what could show up. Love attracts love, like attracts like. Imagine the beautiful clients that could come into your world. Imagine the beautiful opportunities that could come into your world when you do it from love. Now, to be clear, when you're doing something from love, you're not pushing, you're not forcing. There's no must, there's no shoulds, there's no whatevers, right? There's no rules. There's no rules. I work best when I have no rules. If I get too rule oriented, like I must do this and it should be this and all of that, I get extremely constricted. I go external from myself, and I'm constantly looking outward to tell me what to do. I'm looking outward for approval. I'm looking outward to, do you think this is a good idea? What about you? And polling people. Whereas when I just tune into a frequency of love and I go, what am I being called to do? Where am I being called to go? Oh, I've got some questions for you to ask your business, right? These are in Access Consciousness. Questions to ask your business. And this is what you could do today. One moment, please, callers, while I scroll down. Okay, questions to ask your business. Imagine if you asked your business today, what do you know? Your business is an energetic being, by the way. You didn't know that. Business, what do you know? What are you the source of? Actually, Sarah, if you're available, could you type these up into the comments? What are you the source of? What can I contribute to you? What would you like to create? And what can we create together? Sarah, I'm going to flick this on an email to you so you can type it in forward. right? These are really important questions to ask your business. She's nearly there, right? And so by being in the question, being in the what's possible, you'll be led in a new, fresh way. And I guarantee you that your second mountain in business will be more abundant financially and from a frequency of love than your first mountain. The first mountain we usually built from, I must do this, I should do this, I want to make this amount of money, I want to have fame, fortune, whatever, all of the things. Great, it's served us for that time. But this second mountain is built from your essence, from your soul, from the frequency of love, from a space that is really authentic and true to you. And so if you're a visionary, you've already been in business a while, and you know that you're ready for that second mountain to really build a business, which may be completely different to what you're doing now. It may be the same as what you're doing now with new foundations of love, frequency, and being able to scale from there, not necessarily about the more. It doesn't even have to make more money. Some of you are making beautiful money that is perfect for you, right? I was talking to my clients the other day, like when you drop the I should make more money, you usually make more money. So if this is you and you really want to do your business in a whole new different way, I'm calling you to step up. I'm looking for a small group of women, you've probably seen some posts that I've been putting out, who are ready to create that second mountain that's their legacy, that has impact, less about influence, less about numbers, less about reach and all of those things, that has impact to your community, whether that's local, big, doesn't matter, global, and impact to you. So if that's you, type legacy and I'll reach out. This is not for you if you are just in startup in business. Right, I'll be very clear. We do have other programs for you to show you how to make your first six figures. We've been doing this a really long time. I've been a business coach for over 8 years now, and I've helped hundreds of women make their first six figures. I've got clients doing multiple 7 figures. But if you're still in trying to make that first 6 figures, this is not for you. If you're over 6 figures and you're really looking to create that beautiful second mountain that just feels amazing to you, that it's a joy to get up every day into your business, that fuels your soul and makes you great money, comment legacy. We'll have a chat. We'll see if it's a good fit, if we're a fit as well. So much love. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks, ladies, for putting those questions in there. Have a little play in the void. Little play in the void. Direct message me if you're still having trouble with the void situation. It's not for the faint-hearted, but I guarantee it's where the unimaginable, the joy, the love, the pleasure can be for you. All right. Much love. Thank you so much. If you're on replay, I'll come back and interact with you. If you're interested in what we've got on offer, type legacy. Talk to you soon. Ciao.